everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kat, and for today, oh man, I am so excited about this. Chaos Cosmetics is back. The owner had to take a little bit of a break, but she is back, and oh man, is she back. So not only do we have the brand new feather collection that she just came out with, we also have literally all of these. I mean, today is gonna be a swatch-a-thon like no other. I am so excited. Oh my goodness. And then we also have two of the new multi-chromes. Oh, you can already cut out. Okay, these are gonna be great. And these are definitely more of like a bit of a like thicker gel slash liquid consistency. And so we're gonna swatch both of these. I mean, they already just in the packaging look really nice. So I am very excited about that. But we have so many shades to swatch. I am fairly certain at this point that I have like 99% of the shades that she has available on the website. So I am very excited to be swatching everything for you guys. The process with which I find works best when I'm using the Chaos Cosmetics shades is that I use a mixing medium with it. I found that just doing it with a dry brush or a setting spray, you don't necessarily get the best pigment and like color payoff on there. And so the mixing medium that I like to use the best is the Makeup by Mario one. And then the way that I do it is I have a flat surface. We're gonna be using a mirror for today because I can't find my normal mixing palette thing that I have. It's probably still in a box somewhere. But I will be mixing that on there along with my handy dandy trusty mixing tool. And so we're, I'm already so excited. I don't know yet if this is going to be like a two-parter just because we do have so many shades that I'm gonna swatch for you guys. So let's just jump right in. Oh, man. Do you ever just feel like Christmas has just come early? I've definitely swatched for you guys before from Chaos Cosmetics. I think it was the Yule Lads collection around Christmas time, but I just, oh man, okay, I am so excited for this. So just as a thing of note, they all come in these cute little containers. There are a few different sizes that you can get, some smaller, some larger. They all come with a stopper inside that looks like this, a little shaker stopper. But I found that my preference, just for any loose pigments that I'm working with, is to just take the stopper out because then I can really get my little spatula thing in there and get the amount that I'm wanting to use. So I think what we're gonna do is we are going to start off with the shades that were gifted to me so we can kind of see those. Then we're gonna jump into the regular collection, and then at the end we'll do the multi-chromes and the feather collection. So in case this is a two-parter, multi-chromes and feather collection are gonna be in the second part. So make sure you guys are checking that out as well. So the first shade up that we are going to be swatching is going to be Cotton Candy Skye. And this guy looks like it's gonna be maybe between a lilac and a blue. Not quite sure. All right, so this first shade up is gonna be Cotton Candy Skye. Okay. Definitely a bit more on the transparent side, but has a really nice kind of lilac purplish pink shift going on with it. But I would say that this guy, ooh, almost like a little bit of a peachy, but this one, and then to a blue perhaps. So definitely lots of shifts going on with this one. But I think that this would actually be a stunning topper, or perhaps like on the inner corner, just because it is a little bit more transparent of a shade. It's not quite as opaque, but even as I'm looking at it here, it's a stunner, and so I think you could easily build this guy up to where it would be a fantastic shade just on its own. All right, next shade up is gonna be Yuletide, and this one, oh, it looks like it is going to be stunning. Oh, yes. Oh man, that is gorgeous. So you can definitely see where this guy's a little bit more transparent. This one, super opaque. That is a stunning purple to pink kind of shift on there. I would say this is like the deeper, more opaque version of this shade actually, because the shifts are definitely similar. However, the one is obviously definitely lighter than this guy, but both are beautiful shades. This next shade is Legendary, and oh my goodness, it looks like it's gonna be like a purple to green shift. And I am very excited for this guy. I'm already seeing like purples and pinks with like, oh, yes, look at that That purple to green shift. This is, oh, that sheen on there, that greenish shift. Beautiful. And then like I'm even catching like a little bit of pink as I look at it. Yes, like right there as it's trying to like focus in, you can see just a little bit of that pinkish, and then as it goes to purple and then that green. That is stunning. Love it. I definitely love some of the more unique shifts just because like I feel like there's certain multi-chrome shades where we've seen them all before, and so when you get something like this guy that's a different shift, I get real excited. All right, next up is the shade Flirtini, which I have a feeling is going to be like this guy, but the pink version. All right. Yes. All right, this is definitely like a pink to greenish shift on there. Very, very nice. That is super duper pretty. Almost has like a little bit of a peachish undertone to it. So you can definitely see there's the hot pink into more of a champagne-y tone, and then just catching ever so slightly that green shift like you get with the purple guy. Next up is gonna be Sapphire Room, and this shade, holy moly. Oh man, she is pig. Okay, so this is like a magenta red to blue shift. Oh my god, that it's like glass. Look at that. Wow. There you can see the magenta to purple. And then as I pull back, you can see the blue. Wowie, wowie, wowie. That is a nice shade. Oh my goodness. All right, so next up is gonna be the shade Polar Vortex, and just from how it's looking after mixing it, I think it's gonna be more similar to this guy, that it's gonna be probably a bit more of a topper shade rather than like an outright on its own. And as I am swatching this, I might stand corrected. It is very pigmented. Not too much of a shift that I'm seeing. It is just a very nice icy blue. Definitely more pigmented and opaque than I was expecting. So not quite as transparent as this guy was. So you could definitely use this on its own. Next shade up is Wild Rose, and I am so excited for this shade. Holy smokes. It looks like it could be like its own jewel. It is so, so stunning. It's like a burnt rose to gold shift from what I am seeing on here. I mean, yes. This is like honestly probably one of the most perfect lip shades that I've ever seen. That is stunning. So that is a very nice, extremely opaque shade. And yeah, it definitely goes from like a mauve-y burnt rose and then has a bit of like a gold topper to it. So very, very gorgeous, super pigmented metallic on there. Ooh. All right, next shade up is gonna be Dahlia, and this guy also looks like it's gonna be extremely pigmented. Look at this. That, oh my gosh, that is such a gorgeous purple shade. I feel like with every single swatch, it's like we're getting better and better and better. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but holy cow, this guy is super pigmented. It's definitely a really solid purple shade, and I would say it's got a little bit of a magenta undertone to it, but primarily just a beautiful, beautiful purple. All right, the last of the gifted shades is going to be Fairy Hollow, and if you were wondering amongst all of these, like, Kat, where is your normal greens and blues that you love? Well, here's a green for you. There it, I mean, emerald green at its finest. It definitely has like a bit of a shift where you can see a gold on top of it, and then beautiful emerald green, and I would say almost at the very tip, a little bit of a blue shift as well, but definitely picking up a lot of the green. There you can see a little bit of the gold, and then as I am moving it just ever so slight that it's giving off like a little bit of a bluish hue with it as well. On the teal side, I would say. But these are all the gifted shades. They are absolutely stunning. I think this green one is definitely one of my favorites. I think this guy is absolutely stunning, as is this icy blue one, the Polar Vortex shade. I was very pleasantly surprised on that one with how solid and opaque of a shade that was. I was thinking it was gonna for sure be a topper like this guy, which you can definitely see is out of all of them, this one's the most transparent. And I was thinking it was gonna be like that, and oh boy, it is not. It is pigmented. So now we're gonna get into all of the shades that I chose. And so as I am sure you guys know, we're gonna see some more greens and blues. And we're also gonna see maybe some golds and a bunch of other shades. But as we know, many, many shifts. So I think the first one that I wanna grab is this shade Starstruck, which just has this like, I don't even, it's like a gunmetal, but like with many undertones to it. And so I am very curious to see like what it's gonna do when we swatch it. All right, here we go. Ready to see this silver guy. It is pigmented already, very opaque, certainly not a topper shade by any means. I know. Oh, wow. Yes, okay. So not too much of a shift. Really the only thing you're seeing on there is the change from the ring light hitting it, but that is just the most opaque gunmetal shade I've ever seen. I mean, look how solid that is. Outstanding. Oh my goodness, such a good shade. And it definitely has, like, I would say as far as grays go, it has like ever so slight of like a bluish undertone to it. And so it's not like an outright gray, it's like a bluish gunmetal gray. Almost kind of like how my shirt is a little bit more of like having a bluish undertone to the gray. And so I really, really like that. I like when things have like a little bit of an undertone to it, but that is, oh my gosh, like a cannon gray. Love it. All right, next up, I think we're ready for a bit of a gold shade, just to see what happens with that. So we've got definitely, so this is one of the larger containers. This is the shade Cashmere Sands, and it is definitely more of like a coppery gold. So this is gonna be fun to see. All right, here we go. Also very stunning. Definitely a little bit more on the brownish coppery side. I was expecting it to have a little bit more of a gold tone to it, but that is definitely more of a coppery, and then I would say with like a gold sheen on top, but equally as opaque and foiled as the silver shade. So both of those are incredibly stunning metallic shades. And in case you were curious as to like what is going on with some of these swatches up top here, that is not the loose pigments doing weird things. That's essentially that when I say that you need to make sure that the consistency is nice and smooth, if I didn't mix the medium 100% nicely on there, it can cause a little bit of some dry cracking. And so that's why it's better to err on the side of like slightly more liquidy, because you can always add another layer. But if you keep it a little too thick, it can lead to a little bit of cracking. So that's just me not quite adding enough drops of the mixing medium. All right, this next shade looks like it's going to be an absolutely stunning evergreen shade. It is Mystic Forest, and I am excited. Oh man. Oh, just, oh, I mean, that is the most evergreeny evergreen shade. I mean, could you imagine like pairing this guy with this lighter green and then maybe adding in the copper? That is a color combo I could get behind. And I also definitely think that this guy has a bit of like a purplish blue shift at the back end. So definitely a very deep green. And then as I like turn my arm, I don't know, what I am seeing is a little bit of a deeper green that almost has a bit of a bluish purple undertone to it. But that evergreen shade, I mean, that is stunning. All right, next up is the shade Spring on Mars, and this guy looks like a shifty, shifty gal. Oh, it's like a peachy orange, but has like a lime green shift with it. I mean, oh, okay, so you guys are getting that lime green, and then I am getting like the most peachy orange. This is, all right. So the green, and then you can see a little bit of the orange as I am turning my arm. Oh, that is a shifty shade. Oh my goodness, that is, it is like neon lime green from here. I mean, so as you were looking at the container, this like very light champagne-y peach shade that you're seeing in there, that is the shift from the lime green to that peachy orange. It's a very nice shade. Oh my goodness. Okay. Difficulty deciding between these two now on which one is my new favorite. All right, I think we're gonna go into another deeper tone again, and this guy looks like it's also gonna be a shifty gal. Okay, this next shade, Ruin, when I tell you, I was looking at it, I'm like, all right, it's gonna be a nice deeper magenta-y purple shade. It is like molten blue lava. I mean, I really hope that this shift is able to get picked up in the camera, because this guy is super opaque, super pigmented, and just super duper shifty. Because I'm already, like, as I am swatching this, I'm getting purple and blue and pink. So you can definitely tell that this particular multi-chrome has a black base, because that's what you guys are primarily seeing on here. And now there's that blue, such a good teal blue, and then I am seeing purplish to like magenta. It's definitely a very deep multi-chrome. There you go. I love it when the camera's trying to focus. That's where you get your shift on there. And then as you look at it in here, there's that purplish right there that I was talking about. So we've got the purplish magenta next to the blue. That is the awesome shift that Ruin is. Okay, this next shade is Lucidity, and I think that it's very reminiscent of the Sapphire Room shade with how it was mixing up, but it is super sparkly and super foily, and so I am very interested. This is difficult to do this with my left hand, BT dubs. I am not a lefty, so trying to swatch this out with my left hand is gonna be a trick. I can do it with my fingers, but with a brush, asking a lot of my hand dexterity. Are we ready for this? Look at that blue to red. That is a true foil. Holy cow. Bam! I mean, just look at it. I could signal boats with this hand. Oh my gosh. And it's like a blue to pink, but some purple is under there. There's your purplish magenta, and then the blue. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, so compared to the Sapphire Room shade, you can see that the blue is far more like standing out, where I would say that this guy, now that I'm looking at it twice, is more of a purple to red shift, whereas this guy is your blue to red shift. So I think you can definitely see the difference. You can also see that this one is more of just a standard metallic. This is a foil. That's the difference. In case you were curious as to what's the difference between a metallic and a foil, foil looks like sheer liquid as it is shimmering on there. All right, the next shade up is going to be a little bit of a lighter shifty one. This is going to be Utopia, and this shade is honestly reminding me of like a gender reveal, where it's like, is it gonna be pink? Is it gonna be blue? I don't know. Because this one is going back and forth between pink and blue. I like how I don't even know how to hold my brush right. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely like, interesting, because the shift as I was looking at it was definitely more like pink to blue, but after you put it all together, it becomes almost like just an iridescent-y unicorn type shade. And you can definitely see how it's got like where the colors kind of mix together to where it's primarily a purplish tone, but that ever so slight, it goes back and forth between pink and blue. But that is definitely a very nice iridescent-y shade. And for being an iridescent, super duper opaque. All right, this next shade is very reminiscent of the Legendary shade in that it's like a purple with a greenish shift on it, just that this is way deeper of a shade. And I think instead of like more purplish, has a bit more of a magenta to green shift. This is like a shade for a superhero cape. It is so opaque and pigmented. I can't even handle it. Like that level of deep purple, like that is a royal purple with a little bit of like a reddish undertone to it. And then What's interesting is that the green is not so much a shift, it's just that it has primarily like green sparkles. I'm not sure that the green sparkles will pick up on there, but it is just ever so slight. So it's primarily just a really deep purple, and then just like you'd have to get real close to see those green specks. So very interesting. All right, this next shade is gonna be a stunning blue. It's Blue Dragon, and it is also shifty, but with a beautiful blue. I mean, so it looks like it's gonna be a blue to purple shift with, again, that kind of deeper magenta undertone. Bam! Yes, that very nice deep blue. Ooh, and it kind of goes to like a midnighty purple. So there's your a little bit deeper with the purple, and then you get the teal blue on the other end. Very, very nice. Oh man. I do think it's somewhat reminiscent of this shade right here. Let's see here. They are a little bit similar, but I think that the blue tones are slightly different, and then the shifts on there are also a little bit different in that this guy hits a little bit more of like a teal bluish to like purple, but they're all very deep, whereas this guy, and it definitely has a little bit more of like a reddish undertone to the shift, whereas this guy is like, yeah, as I'm pulling them away, you can definitely see this one has a stronger teal bluish shift on there, a little bit more foiled than this guy. Although none of them are as foiled as this actual foil. This next one up looks like it could end up being another foil, but it is a beautiful coppery orange, and it's Caldera. Oh, super duper opaque again. I don't think quite the same level of foil as the top guy, but this is like a gorgeous reddish copper shade. Oh my goodness. That is very nice. I'm not noticing too much of a shift at all. It is just a pure reddish copper pigment on there. That is stunning. Very, very nice. Okay, this next shade looks like it's probably gonna have many shifts. It also looks a bit more like an iridescent. And in the container, it looked really similar to Polar Vortex in that both of them were coming across as like pale blue shades. But this guy I think is gonna have way more shifts. This is the shade Morning Glory, and it's like a green to bluish purple. Yeah, oh, you can totally see it. All right, there's some of the lime green, and then it has that like pale blue that you can see. That is very, very pretty. Beautiful duochrome. Oh my goodness. And definitely way more opaque than I was expecting. I thought it was gonna be super duper sheer, and it is not. It is like not quite as opaque as these metallics, but definitely more opaque than this lady was. You can see on here, she's a little bit more sheer. Definitely you would need to build that up with like another layer, but I think one more layer would already kind of do ya on that one. Whereas this guy, already very, very nice. Oh my goodness. Oh. All right, next up is the shade Atlantis, and this looks like it's going to be a bit of a like greenish to bluish shift on there. There she blows. That is a very nice shade. Really pretty teal with like almost a bit of a goldish green topper on there. Oh man, that really makes this shade look like a deep, deep blue. That is very, very pretty. This next shade is Invictus, and I have no idea what to expect from this. It might end up being foiled, it might not. It looked like it was gonna be really, really similar of like that greenish to blue teal kind of mixture of the last shade that we just did, but already as I am brushing this on, it doesn't look like that. It's definitely a little bit of a deeper green, and then has almost a purplish maroon undertone to it, because as I am looking at the two shades, they do not look similar. Yep, you can see this guy's deeper and has a bit of that maroonish, purplish undertone, whereas this guy just is a bluish to green. You can definitely see where that deeper tone is coming from on here, and then as I turn it, you see more of the greenish blue. All right, this next shade is Jinxed, and it is what looks like blue to gold. Oh yeah, that is your marini blue with a gold on top. Ooh, 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 I love it. I loves it. We're down to 2 shades left, and then we can get into the actual collection. It's definitely a two-parter, holy moly. Next up is Violet Femme, and this looks not as shifty to me. It just looks like an outright violet purple. So it'll be interesting to see how it compares to the other purples that we have already swatched. Yes, yeah, that is definitely just an outright purple. Definitely a deeper purple than this guy, and this guy definitely has a shift between magenta and purple. And so the tones on these are definitely different. And let's see here, we also have this guy, more magenta-y purple, and then this one's definitely a multi-chrome with the teal to purple to red. So yeah, I think that's just definitely an outright violet purple. Very, very nice. Super duper opaque as well. All right, the last shade is going to be Demeter, and that is actually available as a liquid multi-chrome as well. So if you like this shade and you would prefer it in more of the just outright liquid multi-chrome liner formula, you can do that. All right, here we go. And it is just all of the shifts. Like, if you want to get like a really cool unicorny type shade, I would recommend getting Demeter, because I have not seen any other multi-chromes that have quite the same shift to them. And the liquid multi-chrome is stunning. But it's like a blue to green to purple, yeah, to pink. I mean, so you're seeing the purple to pink on there. As I look at it, I'm seeing nothing but blues and greens. All right, as I am holding the mirror up to the shade, you can see in the mirror a little bit more of the bluish to green shift on there. And then as I come around is where the purple and then the pink take over. But this guy is just absolutely stunning. It is the most shifty out of all of them. Oh, so pretty. Cannot recommend that shade enough. And yeah, if you like multi-chromes that are like available in liquid form, I would suggest getting the liquid version. If you like the powders, get the pigment. I mean, all the options. I think that's enough for part 1. Those are the majority regular line available shades. These were all gifted to me. They're kind of random in how you get sample shades, and so I have no idea if these shades would be ones where you guys would get the same ones, or if they are different with what you guys might get. I don't know. All of those are going to be part of the regular line. These are all part of the regular line, but I absolutely love these, and I would love to know what your guys' thoughts are on all of these swatches. Let me know. Definitely stick around for part 2, which will get posted very soon as well, because I'm just gonna literally clear my arms off and then film that portion. So you should see it up fairly soon after part 1, but I didn't want to put you guys through like 10 hours of swatches all at once, so you can break it up a little bit. But let me know if you liked this. Give it a thumbs up if you did, thumbs down if you did not. Either way, let me know. If you made it to the end of the video and you have not yet subscribed, I would highly suggest that you subscribe, if only for part 2, but there are many, many more really awesome things coming your guys' way here in June. I am so excited. I've got like 10 different companies that I'm wanting to show you guys, several new ones. There's a new UK brand that I'm really excited to show you guys, because you know I love branching out to indie brands that are outside of the US as well. So we have so many things coming your way. Definitely stick around, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you guys can see when my next videos are going to be loaded. And other than that, you just go have a good one.